Alright, so thank you all for coming to this big reveal stream. We had just as many people watching right now as we did yesterday for the disbanding of SWGU. Hey, Sheepdog. Yep, right on time. So, a couple of you already know about this, and a lot of you have already guessed it, but I haven't confirmed it. But we're going to be doing something interesting, I think, in Galaxies. And you know what? I'm very certain that I am not the first person to think of this. There's got to have been other people in the past that have tried to do something like this, but I feel like there's enough of you that follow me on YouTube or tune in on Twitch that would appreciate this and participate in it. So I wanted to do my own version of it. So, during previous streams, we've had many conversations about how much fun it will be if Basilisk were to wipe. Or how much fun it's going to be when Basilisk finally shuts down and Suncrusher comes online. We've talked about how the economy on Basilisk is getting stale. We talked about how OP weapons saturate, like the PvP and even PvE instances. We talked about how server resources, since the server has been active for so long, the resource for different things there have been insanely high stated resource spawns over the past couple years. And how the AFK bots have kind of started to dominate server. Okay? So, we all kind of are waiting, right? We're like, man, can't wait for that wipe, can't wait for, another new server or something. But what I finally realized a couple months ago, no, it's not a private server, because that's the thing. I didn't want to split the population off like a lot of the private servers do. I didn't want to start my own server. I wanted to stay on Basilisk, but I wanted a new experience on Basilisk. But what I realized is we don't need Basilisk to wipe to play as if Basilisk wiped. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to create a brand new character. This character is basically... what should I say? Okay, we're going to create a brand new character, and this character is going to create a guild. And anybody can join the guild as long as they join also on brand new characters. Now, once you're in the guild, you can only interact with other guild characters. And that includes anything. Talking, trading, purchasing, buffing, anything. You're not allowed to use the bazaar. You're not allowed to buy things from other vendors. You're not allowed to watch other entertainers. You're not allowed to get buffs or heals by other doctors. You're not allowed to do anything unless that action is interacting with another member of our guild. Now, a couple of you are asking, how are we going to police this? How are we going to make sure that other people are joining with brand new characters or they're not cheating? And unfortunately, there really isn't a way we can do that. But the question I ask to those people, like if you're planning on joining the guild and playing on a toon that is going to go outside and interact with other toons, why not just play the game regularly? Like, there's nothing stopping you from doing that on your regular characters. So the only reason you would ever want to actually join this guild is for the added challenge. So, yeah, it is going to be a little bit of an honor system, but I believe it's going to work just fine because what's the alternative is just playing the game regularly, right? Like, why? There's no reason for you to join this guild unless you're trying to make the game more challenging for yourself. So, let's get started. I'm going to be boring and be a human. I'm just going to make the character look pretty much like what my main looks like now anyway. We'll go over a couple more of the rules once we get in. Just go through this real quick. I thought about creating the character beforehand anyway, but some people like to see this stuff. But yeah, if you guys start having questions now, start posting your questions in chat. And as I see them, I'll answer them. Just gonna burn through this as quickly as I can. Do I want a beard? For now, we'll just go with this. It's fine. Doesn't have to look great. How long am I streaming this today? As long as I can. Which city are we gonna form up in? Okay, so that's the big question. We're gonna have to decide on a couple of things together. What about bounty hunters? Hunt guild Jedi if when they happen? I mean, if we ever get that far, I mean, think about how long it's going to take for somebody to reach Jedi. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Naboo. A lot of people are voting Naboo. All right, I'm not sure what profession I want to start as, because there are a lot of things you got to consider now, okay? We're not going to have buffs. We're not going to have armor. We're not going to have weapons besides the weapons we start with. So part of me was kind of leaning towards doing the same thing that I did on my main Mobius, which is Teräs Käsi Master, Master Doctor. That way I'll be able to fight Teräs Käsi Master, and Master Doctor will be very useful. We'll be able to buff and heal during combat. However, I have to consider what we want to... Like, if that's the route I want to go, I think it's probably best to start with either Medic or maybe Scout. You know, I think I'm going to start with Scout. Because we get a couple weapons. We'll be able to harvest resources. But the thing is, we're going to need metals. So, alright, a couple people have already started as artisans, so they'll be able to sample inorganics. I think we're going to start as Scout. What if we eventually split into 2 guilds, one for Imperial, one for Rebel, the only 2 guilds we can interact with? If we get enough support for that, it's something we can consider, but let's stick together for now and see how it goes. Rory or Talus make this hard mode. I really like the idea of starting on a starter world, and we already have a Naboo guild hall. This is kind of, for those of you that were watching yesterday when we visited that Naboo guild hall just outside of Karen on Naboo, that's the guild hall I was considering using, but I kind of like the idea of creating our own elsewhere. So I'm going to try and make Mobius with a Z. Not do the new player tutorial. Hey, it's not taken. Alright. I'm going to run through our keybinds real quick. Oh, whoa, did it? No, it doesn't have them remembered. That's weird. How come it knew that I wanted the first-person shooter style, but the controls themselves are not remembered? This is only going to take me a minute or two. I've done this so many times. That's already in there. Okay. Damn it. I keep accidentally doing mouse click. Okay. Alright. Thanks, A Cornered Fox. Love the idea. I gotta head to work. Hope to join soon. Absolutely, dude. Logged into another character first. Ah, okay, so it keeps all the interface stuff. That's cool. Remember to stat migrate. So that's the thing. Okay, let's talk about that real quick, because a lot of people don't know that you can, in this room here, where you choose your starting location, if you open up your character sheet and go to stat migration, you're actually given a free stat migrate. So you can mess around with all these values right now without even going into the game. So what a lot of people do is they actually dump all of the points out of health and action and completely max out as much of their mind as they can, because mind, you know, it's harder to buff your mind than your health and action. However, due to the nature of the way we're playing, this is probably a very bad idea because we don't have access to doctor buffs right away. So I don't really know that I want to stat migrate. As a human, I'm pretty balanced right now. I'm just gonna leave it as is. But thanks for reminding me that. So what inventory stuff do we get? Okay, so remember also that everybody's going to start with an X31 speeder. Treat this speeder as if it's your firstborn child, okay? Because we're not getting replacement vehicles until somebody gets Master Artisan, all right? So you're gonna learn to love the X31 for a while. Okay. Alright. So, a lot of people are saying start on Naboo. Our three choices are Theed, Mowenya, and Kadara. Of course. So we can't even start in Karen if we want to. Can we use flash speeders? Oh, that ruins it. I'm gonna say I'll let chat vote on that if we can use flash speeders. I was gonna say no until you purchase or acquire your first swoop. So once we get somebody to Master Artisan, and once you obtain, either through trading or buying or whatever, your first swoop, then you can start using flash speeders. No flash. What about the pilot spawns? Theed. Where's this? Oh, that's Talus. Kadara. Bestine. Rebels are going to be Mowenya, yeah. Tyrina, or Mos Espa. No, Karen's not one of the faction starts, unfortunately. But what about... Kadara might be good, or should we stick to the neutral one? Well, see, Theed's not even neutral. There's always Empire troops in Theed. I'm kind of leaning towards Kadara, but what are other options on like Corellia? Coronet, Tyrina, Corvella. Or Tatooine, we have Mos Eisley, Bestine, and Mos Espa. Here's the interesting thing, right? Like, we are basically going to start populating a player city. Or, I'm sorry, a non-player city. So, well, right now, it's very obvious that either, like, Corellia, Theed, or, not Corellia, Coronet, Theed, or Mos Eisley are, like, the 3 cities that a new player to Galaxy should choose. It doesn't matter. What the city that we decide to play in could be completely empty, and that will not affect us whatsoever. So, personally, I think we should choose a city that is very rarely traveled. You do like how isolated Corvella is? Is having 2 tunes in the guild allowed? We'll get to that in a bit. I'm not sure how I want to handle that yet. That's something else we'll have to vote on, but let's wait until the guild is set up first. Do you like how isolated Corvella is? Alright, let's vote on planet first, because a lot of people voted Naboo, but now that we actually see our choices, does anybody want to vote on anything else? Corvella or Moenia? Which I still don't know if that's how you say it, but whatever. Monia. I like Moenia. Still vote Naboo. As much as I love Theed, like, Theed is probably my favorite city in the game, but I really like the idea of taking this opportunity to play from a different city. Your vote is anything but Tatooine. Alright, well... Is anyone opposed to Kadara? Unfortunately, you can't spawn in Dualba Gorfel. You like Kadara? Kadara is the city in the very northeast of Naboo that's up on the, right by the beach. Problem I have with Moenia is it's kind of in like a swamp. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Alright, a lot of people are saying they like Kadara. Let's do it. Here we go. Are we going to group up and do missions, or are we all just going to every man for himself? That's kind of the point. I mean, without armor or buffs, we might actually have to group up. You know? Like, if I'm a scout and I need to go out and get resources, I might need somebody to help me kill some stuff. And this is it, guys. We've officially begun. We got other new players popping in almost immediately. All right. So to those that are to those that have tunes elsewhere, like to those that were in Mos Eisley, if you need to send credits to your new characters so that they can afford a travel ticket, feel free to do that. Otherwise, no help from anyone not participating. We picked Kadara on Naboo, and I'm just bringing Mobius over with the guild hall. Look at this, we're getting a nice little start here already. Oh, it definitely does not rain here all the time. Correct. You cannot communicate with anybody outside the guild while on these tunes. That's the whole key, right? Like, I don't want to tell anybody how to play the game on their regular tunes. But if you're going to be playing on these tunes, the whole idea is to make it more difficult. So, that's really it. I gotta set up my toolbars. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna get the guild hall set up. I'm going to use Mobius to put maintenance in it. Basically, the only help that we're going to get is this initial startup of the guild hall. Because obviously, we need a way to identify who's participating and who's not. So the whole idea is to get a guild set up so that you can tell at a glance whether somebody is in the guild or not. So instead of waiting for somebody to hit Master Architect before we can like figure out who's playing with us, we're going to get an initial head start of a guild hall and credits for maintenance, but that is it. So alright, that's it. I transferred the guild hall and I transferred 1,000,000 credits, which is all going to be put into maintenance. Did the stream go down? Can you guys still hear me? Okay, good. So, alright, we gotta get this guild hall set up. Let us go exploring. Oh my god, the vehicles. Hey Hysteria, yes, these are all new characters. Alright. So, we gotta try to find someplace pretty close that we can build the guild hall. No AFK grinding. See, I don't know if we should limit how people can play more than just who they're allowed to interact with. But if you guys think that having a no AFK grinding rule is a good idea, then we can probably do that too. Oh my god, the houses. Alright guys, split up, spread out, and try to find somewhere you think a guild hall could fit. Maybe right here. Can't see through the map. No, it's not wide enough. Is this might be our first challenge right here. Oh, this isn't bad. We could do it right here, but we're gonna have to clear out these Norts. You guys like it over there? Alright, yeah, we could do here. This is good. But again, we're gonna have to clear out these spawns. Yeah, we got 12 points of unarmed combat XP. We're gonna harvest. Alright, let's see. Which way do we want it facing? Where's the city? I guess we kind of want it facing west then, so like this. See how that looks. So we're just to the southeast of Kadara. And check it out, we are donating, or we are depositing 1 million credits into maintenance. So we're good for over a year. Oh shoot, you know what? I think this one had maintenance in it already. Did it? Yeah. Well, not a lot. It had 85,000 in it already. So been streaming a lot lately. Hey Fluven. So if you're interested in joining, feel free to come here. But now comes the big moment. We've got to name this baby. And I've had a couple of ideas, which we'll discuss. Somebody asked if somebody's doing weaponsmith and armorsmith. Hold on, let's take care of this naming thing, and then we'll start talking about professions. Okay, yeah, this is 100% a community thing. If you haven't already joined my Discord, I'll post a link for that too, because if you are joining this, I would very much appreciate it if you join the Discord as well, because I'm going to create a category or a role for Discord members so that we can tell who else in the guild is online. People need waypoints. All right. Noob Corp. All right, so listen up. I really wanted the guild name to have something to do with either the fact that we're playing as if the server wiped, or some sort of like fresh start, or something to do with, you know, like rebirth or reborn. So I'm going to put a couple of tags in stream chat. Unfortunately, sorry guys, those of you watching on YouTube can't see it. But these are some of the ideas that I had. We had that. But honestly, the one that I came up with this morning, or actually it was late last night, I did like A New Hope too, or A New, but it sounds weird saying that. But what do you guys think about this? Because you got to think about the guild tag as well. Yeah, I thought Rebirth might have been a server name. Simulated Wipe is kind of a weird name, but I really like the guild tag Swipe. Like we could refer to each other as swipers. Swiper, no swiping. New founding fathers. Swipe's pretty sweet. I really do like Swipe. You vote for Swipe? I mean, the thing is, nothing's permanent either. So if we decide later we want to rename it, we can. But alright, I really like it. A lot of other people are agreeing that it sounds pretty good. So, Simulated Wipe. Swipe. Nice. It works.